Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I want to talk about the SEC championship game. We have number 8 Alabama, the Crimson Tide. Roll Tide! And we got number 1 Georgia, the team that's riding in on a 29-game winning streak. This right here is the battle of the powerhouse teams in the SEC. This is the battle of the two best conference, where the battle of the best conference in college football, the two best divisions, okay, in the SEC East and SEC West. Okay, we got Alabama on one side. The Alabama Crimson Tide will come in with Jalen Milroe as starting quarterback, and it's gonna be real crazy to see how Jalen Milroe would be able to handle against this Georgia pass rush. Okay, now we know the Alabama offensive line is not really that good. I'm not saying they are bad, but they are, a little shaky at times. Okay, especially with the true freshman tackle, that they have with in Proctor. Okay, but like I said, Proctor's been playing really good lately. But I want to see how he will react going against a team that's like this Georgia Bulldog team. Okay, but listen, man. But let me stop for a second. Hey, before I get started, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, also in the share button. Okay, and make sure you all let me know what you all think about this segment in the comment section. But listen, before we get started, what you all think? All right, what you all think is going to happen when these two teams face off? Georgia comes in on a 29-game winning streak. They are going for 30 straight wins. Their last loss was 2 years ago in the SEC championship game against Alabama, in which they was undefeated that season. Alabama came in and beat them down 41-24, but they got their get back in the national championship game, in which Alabama lost the two best receivers, which was John Mechie and also Jamison Williams. But listen, injuries happen, and I'm not going to blame that as the reason why, even though it's a little bit, it really is. But in the end, this team right here still, got their get back in the national championship game. And that right there pretty much was the last time they lost a game. We got Carson Beck on the other side. Howard Carson Beck handled the pass rush from Alabama. How will he be able to handle Dallas Turner and Broswell? How would he handle those pass rush? Georgia got one of the best offensive lines in college football. So would they keep it clean? If they can keep it clean, Alabama's going to be in for a long day. I just think if they can keep that pocket clean for Carson Beck, it's going to be a long day. And will Brock Bowers play? Will Ra Thomas play? Okay, we already know that McClellan coming into the game, he have 803 yards with 6 touchdowns. Nick Saban has already pretty much said that he will not play in this game. How would that affect this Alabama Crimson Tide team that they don't have their leading rusher? Okay, now it's a lot of things that can happen, but the number one thing for the Alabama Crimson Tide will be Jalen Milroe. Can Jalen Milroe make the plays when he needs to make them? Now, we saw him make the plays when he needed to make them against Auburn, even though I felt like he left a lot of plays on the field. You cannot leave those plays on the field against this Georgia Bulldog team, because this Georgia Bulldog team ain't Auburn. This Georgia Bulldog team is probably the best football team in college football. And this is going to be the first time that Alabama lines up against a team that's just got just as many 5 stars as them. This is the first time that they will look at themselves in the mirror and say, this team is this is a mirror of us. Because that's exactly what Kirby Smart has done. He's built this team into the same team that Alabama was building, okay, over the years. Nick Saban that was building. Now, Nick Saban versus Kirby. Will this right here be the game where Kirby takes the torch from Nick Saban? Or will Nick Saban, hey, pat him? Oh, make sure you understand that I'm not ready to pass this torch over yet. Make sure you understand that I'm still the big dog in the SEC. Or will this right here be the time where Georgia goes for get the 30 wins and be the first team ever to get back-to-back national championship? That's going to be very impressive, man, even for me. Everybody know how I feel about Georgia. No, I don't hate on you. If you're great, you're great. I'm going to let you know that you're great. And this team right here is on their way to greatness if they can win 3 straight national championships. That's never been done. These two teams right here comes into the game. They're pretty even average. These two teams average probably like the same amount. Both offenses are pretty much even. Alabama comes in. Georgia's a 6.5 point favorite. This right here was 5.5. It went to 6.5. Alabama leads the series 42-26. But like I said, the last time these two teams met, Georgia beat them in the national championship game. But like I said before, Alabama lost their two best receivers. They lost their two best weapons. Okay. Now they said Brock Barrett, a weapon all over the field, when healthy. Brock has been slowed by an ankle injury that was required surgery. Now everybody know that he was coming back from an ankle injury, and they said he hadn't been able to practice. So will Kirby Smart put his big superstar tight end on the field, maybe as a decoy, or maybe he just sits him out all season, all game. That is going to be what I think will pretty much I'm not going to say it's going to decide the game, but it's going to be a big factor because if Alabama don't have to deal with that big tight end, then that's right there. It was one less thing that Kevin Steele and that defense got to worry about. But Georgia really have to worry about Jalen Milroe. If Jalen Milroe starts running, it's going to make it very, very difficult for this Georgia team because at the end of the day, they played against good teams, but they ain't seen no quarterback like Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe can win and lose this game with his arm and leg because I think that he's the more polished quarterback. Even though I like Carson Beck, I think Carson Beck is in the right system. I think he's in the perfect system for him. I think Jalen Milroe can go and be in any system and he's going to be the same. So it's going to come down to this. Jalen Milroe making mistakes. If Jalen Milroe can keep the mistakes down to a minimum, and if the offensive line can keep this Georgia pass rush off of Jalen Milroe, I think that this team right here have a big, really, really big chance at winning this game. Now, my prediction is going to come like this: turnovers and who can limit the big plays, because we know that Carson Beck is going to go for the big plays. So if Alabama doesn't contain this Georgia rushing attack, because that's what pretty much opened up the play action, which Carson Beck's love, and he's going down the field to one of those receivers. If Alabama can control and keep all these guys in front of, I think the number one thing will be Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs, the true freshman, the superstar freshman. He will be who I think Georgia is going to target the most. And the reason why is because he's a true freshman. He makes mistakes. Sometimes he breaks down, in the passing game. That is what I think Georgia is going to try to exploit the most. On the other side, I think that Alabama is going to try to run a lot of crossing routes to confuse that Georgia secondary. And I think that the man that can do this, Alabama will have to use the tight end, more this game than they have used him all season. If they can get him going and makes it very uncomfortable for those linebackers, keep those linebackers honest, then I think that they can hit Burton and they can hit Isaiah Bond and the rest of these dudes deep on some of these deep crossing routes. And that's how I think that they can win the game. The same way Jameson Williams pretty much dominated Georgia in the SEC. Well, Jameson Williams and John Mechie, how they dominated them 2 years ago in the SEC championship game. But listen, man, make sure y'all let me know what you all think about this game. And my prediction will be, I think Alabama's going to pull it off somehow, some way. I think Nick Saban and this team will find a way to beat Georgia in the SEC championship game. And I think that these two teams right here should both get a college football playoff berth. That's my opinion. What you all think? Y'all let me know what you all think about this, my prediction, and let me know what you all think about this segment as well. But listen, before I leave out of here, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button, all right? And make sure y'all give me your feedback on what you all think about this segment, all right? And until next time, man, thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Hey, y'all, peace. Y'all have a great, great, great week, y'all. Until next time, thank you all for watching.